Jesus is the firstborn among many brethren. Romans 8:29-30 says, and I quote, "Those whom he foreknew," the Greek word is prognosko, which means to know beforehand. "Those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, so that he would be the firstborn among many brethren," the firstborn among many human beings. "And those whom he predestined, he also called, justified, and glorified." Notice that the inspired text of Scripture says that those that God predestined were already called, justified, and glorified before they were actually born. So Jesus is the firstborn among many brethren because he is the firstborn of all of God's elect who would be born after him in the fullness of times. Romans 8:29-30 also informs us when the foreknown Son would become a living son. Jesus as a son is called the firstborn among many brethren because he was born at Bethlehem. He was born first in God's mind and plan before God's elect were born in God's mind before creation. But he was not literally born, just like we, God's elect, were not literally born before the creation. So that's why Jesus is called the firstborn among many brethren before he was literally born in the fullness of time. For the Son of God and God's elect were already foreknown and already predestined before the creation of the world actually took place. Hence, the Son of God is called the firstborn among many brethren long before the many brethren were actually born on the earth. Therefore, God's elect were already predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son so that he would be, in the future, the firstborn among many brethren before the creation of the world actually took place. Wherefore, the Son of God was already the firstborn among many brethren in the foreknowledge of God in his foreknown plan before the creation of the world, just as Christ's brethren were also born after the firstborn in God's predestined plan. Romans 8:30 concludes by saying, and I quote, "And those whom he predestined, he also called, justified, and glorified," past tense. These scriptural facts prove that God's elect were already called, justified, and glorified before they were actually born on the earth as men and women. Therefore, God's elect were already born after the firstborn, after Christ, by being already conformed to the image of his Son as the firstborn among many brethren before the actual creation took place.